Will the Senate please come to order? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Senator Ocasio, Senator Baker, Senator Chang,
Here.
Senator Dela Cruz,
Here.
Senator English,
Present.
Senator Favela, Senator Gabbard,
Here.
Senator Ihara,
Present.
Senator Inoue, Senator Kanuha, Senator Keith Agaran,
Here.
Senator Keoho Kalole, Senator Kidani, Senator Kim,
Here.
Senator Lee,
Here.
Senator Misalucha, Senator Moriwaki,
Present.
Senator Nishihara, Senator Rhodes,
Present.
Senator Riviere,
Present.
Senator San Buenaventura, Senator Shimabukuro,
Here.
Senator Taniguchi,
Here.
Senator Wakai. Mr. President,
Present.
all 25 members present.
Thank you. The chair has read the journal of the preceding day and approves the same. Are there any introductions this morning? Not, Madam Clerk.
On pages 1 through 8, House Communication number 558 informs the Senate that the House has disagreed to the amendments proposed by the Senate to various House bills.
File.
On pages 8 through 12, Standing Committee Report numbers 1757 to 1770 for one-day notice.
So ordered.
On pages 13 to 15, advise and consent.
If there are no objections from the members, we will be taking advice and consent on consent.
Standing Committee Report numbers 1751 to 1756 on Governor's messages for adoption.
Is there any discussion? If not, do we have unanimous consent?
25 ayes.
Thank you. The nominees for said governor's messages have been confirmed.
On pages 15 to 17, adoption of resolutions. Standing Committee Report numbers 1739 to 1750 for adoption.
Senator Kaeho Kalole.
I move for the adoption of Standing Committee Report number 1739 to 1750.
Senator Favela.
I second that motion.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? I have Standing Committee Report 1745, HCR 137, a no vote for Senator Ocasio, and on 1747, HCR 84, reservations for Senator Ocasio. I'll look to the floor first. Any other reservations? Any other no votes? On the screen? If not, Madam Clerk, I'm sorry, so it's moved and seconded. No further discussion. Any objections other than those noted for Senator Ocasio? Motion is carried. Said resolutions have been adopted.
On page 18, final reading.
If there are no objections from the members, we will be taking final reading on consent.
Final reading of Senate Bill 540, House Draft 2, relating to emergency rules. Senate Bill 651, House Draft 1, relating to renaming Kahului Airport Access Road. Senate Bill 795, House Draft 1, relating to state small boat harbor fees. Senate Bill 1127, House Draft 2, making an emergency appropriation for the Department of Human Services. And Senate Bill 1166, House Draft 2, relating to rentals for public land leases.
Is there any discussion?
Mr. President.
Senator Rhodes.
Thank you, Mr. President. On rise in support on SB 540 relating to emergency rules.
Please
As
proceed.
most people are aware at this point, if you violate the emergency rules that we've had in effect for about a year now, the standard and only punishment is, the only crime that you commit is a misdemeanor. This bill will make it so that other lesser offenses can be designated in emergency proclamations, including infractions that will look and be adjudicated just like traffic tickets. So I'm hopeful this will be more, a more useful tool for enforcing especially things like masking rules, which are still important. The pandemic is not over and not everyone is vaccinated, and so it is still very important that we follow these rules. But having fines opposed to a potential year in jail, I believe, will be a much more effective way of accomplishing that task. Mahalo.
Thank you. Further discussion?
Mr. President?
Senator Keith Agaran.
Yes, I have some written remarks in support of Senate Bill 651 that I would like inserted into the record.
So noted. Or so ordered.
Thank you.
Senator San Buenaventura.
I rise in support of SB 1127, SD1, HD2, and I just want to add in that I really appreciate this chamber fast-tracking this bill, because as soon as it lands in the governor's desk, we are going to be able to afford, as of the May payment, which is next month's payment, to be able to help the poorest of the poor. So thank you very much for this chamber for allowing me to do this. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Ocasio.
Mr. President, I rise in opposition to Senate Bill 1166. May I proceed
Please
with
proceed.
comments? So the language in this bill is vague and the timing is rushed. Addressing the issues of liabilities that come with expired leases is something we must do, but the matter needs careful consideration. Given the testimony in opposition, it's clear that more consideration is due. The impact demolition activities have on the environment is something that was given no consideration with regards to this bill. The potential these activities offer as a source of wealth for the underemployed was also not considered. As an example, an organization in Baltimore called Second Chance that started with 400,000 and 4 employees a decade ago has grown into a multi-million-dollar enterprise with an $11 million budget and 240 employees just by managing demolition projects. A bill that addresses the cost of demolition must also address its potential benefits. This one does not. No consideration was given to other top options for managing this issue other than allowing developers to capitalize on highball estimates that could be for mass wastefulness. It's clear that this bill is an attempt to make up for the capricious manner in which the state awarded these leases in the first place, but it is equally capricious. Past failures to require lessees to remove old and unwanted improvements are no excuse for depriving OHA and DHHL beneficiaries of their share of future lease payments. Under this measure, neither OHA or DHHL has any input or role in negotiating rent waivers or reductions, which may impact their respective shares of lease revenues for 2 decades at a time. It is not clear how the value of the demolition activities or improvements will be determined. If they are being exchanged for money rightfully due the state, they should be subject to the same bidding process that prevents fraud and abuse on state contracts. Under this bill, rent reductions or lease waivers will be up to 20 years, which may approach or exceed the useful life of certain types of infrastructure that would be installed by said leases. In such cases, the full benefit of such infrastructure would be realized by lessees with little to no equity left for the state to have justified its reduction or waiver of lease rent. While this measure may assist in certain developments in my district, it applies to all DLNR lands throughout the state, lands in your districts as well. Before voting yes on this measure, each of us should have a much clearer understanding of the impacts it will have. I encourage my colleagues to vote with me in opposition to this bill so that we can put in the necessary careful consideration next session. Thank you.
Thank you. Further discussion, Senator Inoue.
Thank you, Mr. President. I rise in support of SB 1166, SD2, and on behalf of the Waterland Committee and the Ways and Means. The purpose and the intent of this measure is to authorize BLNR to approve rental payment reductions or waivers for leases when the lessee must incur substantial demolition costs or infrastructure improvement costs in order to utilize the leased premises. And the committees find that the reduction or the waiver or the lease rental payments authorized by this measure will provide a greater incentive for developers to invest in the redevelopment of public land or provide the necessary infrastructure to facilitate further development of unimproved public land. And just to add, Mr. President, the Banyan Drive, in other words, this is one of the areas that it would help. But in the Senate District 1, we've already seen the damages and the lease coming up or the demise of a lease with regards to Uncle Billy's Hotel. And it's already been claimed, and the DLNR already has put that particular property that's in abeyance of uninhabited facilities. And so there's a demolition that needs to occur as well. And so this measure will help in one particular instance, and I'm sure there's many other areas that's involved throughout the state as well, including Hawai'i. Mahalo.
Thank you. Further discussion? If not, on page 18, I see no reservations. Did I miss anyone who wanted to have reservations on any bill on page 18?
Yes, Mr. President.
Senator Ihara.
Could you note my reservations for Senate Bill 795 and Senate Bill 1166?
So noted.
Mr. President,
Senator Ocasio.
you also have my no vote for Senate Bill 795.
Yes, and we were going to start asking for the no votes after we got through the reservations. So, do we have any other no votes? I show, as Senator Ocasio said, a no vote on 795. Senator Favela, 1196, you are a no vote. Any other no votes that I missed? Madam Clerk, do we have unanimous consent? Two no votes on 1166, one no vote on 795. Reservations for Senator Ihara, 795 and 1166.
We have 24 ayes on Senate Bill 540, House Draft 2, Senate Bill 651, House Draft 1. On Senate Bill 795, House Draft 1, 23 ayes, 1 no. Senate Bill 1127, House Draft 2, 24 ayes. And on Senate Bill 1166, House Draft 2, 22 ayes, 2 noes.
Thank you. Said House bills on page 18 pass third or final reading.
Referrals and re-referrals.
Referrals and re-referrals are made in accordance with the supplemental order of the day, which may be distributed to your offices later today.
On page 19, miscellaneous business, reconsideration of disagreement to House amendments and motions to agree. Senate Bill 714, House Draft 3, relating to publicity rights.
Senator Rhodes.
Mr. President, I move that the Senate reconsider its previous action in disagreeing to the amendments made by the House to SB 714 SD1 and agreed to said amendments.
Senator Ka'eho Kalole.
I second the motion.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Senator Rhodes.
Mr. President, the only changes made to the Senate draft were technical and friendly amendments, and therefore essentially the bill is the same as it was as it passed out of the Senate.
Any further discussion? Any objections? If not, the motion is carried. One-day notice is hereby given for final reading of Senate Bill number 714, HD3.
Senate Bill 1050, House Draft 1, relating to criminal history record checks.
Senator Rhodes.
Mr. President, I move that the Senate reconsider its previous action in disagreeing to the amendments made by the House to SB 1050 SD1 and agree to said amendments.
Senator Ke'oho Kalole.
I second the motion.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Senator Rhodes.
Again, the only amendments made by the House were technical in nature. The substance of the bill as passed out of the Senate is intact.
Thank you. Is there any further discussion? Any objections? If not, the motion is carried. One-day notice is hereby given for final reading of Senate Bill number 1050 HD1.
Send concurrent resolution number 66, House Draft 1, condemning and denouncing all forms of anti-Asian sentiment and all acts of racism, xenophobia, intolerance, discrimination, hate crime, and hate speech against Asian Americans and Asian individuals in the United States, and requesting the Hawaii Civil Rights Commission to analyze and report on anti-Asian sentiment and acts in the state.
Senator Rhodes.
Mr. President, I move that the Senate reconsider its previous action in disagreeing with the amendments made by the House to Senate Concurrent Resolution 66 SD1 and agree to said amendments.
Senator Ke'oho Kalole.
I second the motion.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Senator Rhodes.
The amendments that the House made to SCR 66 were friendly in nature and improved the quality of the product, and therefore I urge my colleagues to support this measure as amended.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Any objections? If not, the motion is carried. One-day notice is hereby given for final adoption of SCR number 66 HD1.
No further business, Mr. President.
Are there any announcements today? If not, the chair has one. The deadline to file committee reports on amended House concurrent resolutions in order to meet Monday's second crossover deadline is 6 p.m. today. The clerk's office will distribute a list this evening of all resolutions to be scheduled for adoption on Monday. Are there any further announcements? If not, Senator Ke'oho Kalole.
I move that the Senate stand adjourned until 12 noon on Monday, April 19th.
Senator Favela.
I second that motion.
It's been moved and seconded. If there are no objections from the members, the Senate will stand adjourned until noon on Monday.